What up, what up, what up? Super late. What up, what up? Shower fresh. Superhero shirt on. Bedtime, y'all. And I was like, you know what? All this stuff going on. I want to watch stuff. Let me go ahead and read the coldest winter ever with the Care Bears. I was about to be like, forget y'all fools. I had an early day. Got my nails together. Boom. Tacos about to come over here. You know what they got my groceries on. Was about to chill. Wait up. Move out. So you're gonna hear a lot of smacking because I'm eating these later on. So I'm gonna be petty with this read tonight. Mm. So yeah, let's get it cracking. Cause I gotta go to bed. But I wanted to read this instead of just watching YouTube. You are gonna move taco. So we on chapter 13 in the coldest winter ever. Oh, my nails match. So what happened? Where do we leave off? Oh, she got with Sister Soldier. Went to the was she didn't remember when the killer bees out Brooklyn I came and chased her down. She was working that skirt getting loose. Well, Rashida finally convinced her to go to Sister Soldier's house. She was like, yo, she can help you, la 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 la. Yo, that scene where Winter met Sister Soldier was hilarious because Sister Soldier was looking like. Anyway, so she ended up getting cool with Sister Soldier's little sister. And she was just telling her get down, how she, you know, make music, do speeches, talk about the community, shit like that. Um, where we ended up leaving off at is that she went to the women's prison and she ended up going to the AIDS area where all the women, well, she was supposed to be speaking to adolescents, like younger women, and she had to go to an area where all the women had AIDS, and she had a breakdown. She really didn't know what she was going to say to them. You know what I'm saying? But she went out there and she gave a powerful speech to those women, talking about basically how uh, women are not just relegated to their beauty and their looks only. You have more value to you in your womanhood than just your looks alone. You know what I'm saying? Talking about the importance of being educated and things like that. But the way she put it was so trill, it just made all the women in there just like break down and shit. So yeah, it was a really great speech. Do I want to read it again? I kind of well, it wasn't long. It wasn't long at all. I imagine if she was to make a movie, it would be like a lot longer. Um, Maybe I should read it to y'all, and that's how we'll start it. So whenever y'all slide through, let me take another bite of this mint ice cream. It's mine. Um, it is kind of long. Oh no, it's not. No, it's not. It's a page and a half, 2 pages. Maybe. I'm gonna read it to you. Get into my sister's soldier mode. Hold on. Ladies first. Ladies first. Okay, I'm ready. I can tell that all of you used to be very pretty women. I can look at your faces and see that you once were somebody's sweetheart, somebody's love, somebody's life. And I know when you were younger, you thought being beautiful was the best thing in the world. But really, we women don't have to do anything to be beautiful. It's a gift from God. The woman is. Somewhere along the line, many of us as women are led to believe that being pretty is enough. And while we rely on that, we forget to strengthen our minds so that we can learn how to think, how to build, how to survive. We forget how to live our lives, to protect our spirit, to be clean and decent. We forget that everything we do matters so much. Every right decision brings us blessings. Every wrong decision brings us pain. And then when times get hard, our struggle and our pain shows on our faces and our bodies. When people see our pain and weakness in our face, they say, "She used to be fine. She used to be this. She used to be that." When men feel our beauty has faded, we become shocked at how well they ignore us and forget us. We'll do anything to get their attention. Money, love. Can I suck your dick? Can I do anything? Can I? Can I? When we hate ourselves, we destroy our bodies with alcohol, drugs, casual sex, and a bunch of stuff. Then we look at ourselves and hate ourselves even more. When I first came in here, I said, "What will I say to these women? They are all dying." When I looked at your faces, I thought to myself, what have they done to themselves? But in spite of everything, your children love you, your daughters need you, your sons miss you. We need you to live. We need you to want to live. What is a community without you? The mothers. What will a community of motherless children be? Be like killers, haters, evil, negative, mad at the world, unable to love, hug, and live because they hate themselves, because they needed you to teach them how to feel, how to love, how to just be. So when you look in the mirror, don't see death, see life. Don't see ugly, see beauty. It may not seem like it, but you are powerful. A change of mind, a change of spirit, a change of actions can create a new you. You are needed. We need you to make the rest of your life mean something special. We need you to take good care of yourselves and each other. So those of us who love and need you can still in our have you back in our homes, our communities. Yes, there is much to live for. And when I looked up, everyone's eyes were filled with tears, not mine. I hated her for making me think about my mother. I hated the way she thought she could get into everybody's personal business. I hate whatever it was in her that gave her the nerve to say out loud what everyone else thought but had sense not to mention. She hugged those women. When she forgot to hug one, they would ask for a hug. She gave it to them. She shook their sweaty hands and stood there while ones with missing teeth accidentally spit in her face while attempting to express themselves. She gave out pamphlets, booklets, advice, and too many autographs. After what was way too long of a wait, we went straight home. One by one, we took long hot showers right away. Man, that's deep. That's hard. Yo, that's a good ass speech because this is what a mukbang. But this is a that's a good ass speech because even though that's really touching because just being a woman who went through some ill street shit, you know what I'm saying? That's still when you go through shit like that, it's oppressed upon it's on you, you know what I'm saying? It's in you. And that trauma, when you go through a lot of trauma, you know what I'm saying? It does show up on your face. It shows up in your characteristics. It shows up um, in your decision making. You know, uh, especially if you're not attempting to heal, especially if you put in like this makes shit look weird. Especially when you haven't put in no work to heal yourself, right? Um, it can make shit or make your healing process a lot longer than it should be. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even myself, you know what I'm saying? Uh, my ass need to be somewhere in somebody's counseling somewhere. But procrastinating it is something in our minds that when you're so used to being that survival type mode, you know what I'm saying? It makes it difficult um, to really want to ask for help when you're used to surviving on your own. And I think that, uh, especially Black women, a lot of us haven't been able, and if so, it was under manipulated circumstances. So, what I mean, for some of us, a lot of us in our community, in regards to this book, okay, right? My nails hella match. But for example, Winter's mother, she got to live a privileged lifestyle, right? But it came with huge consequences because of because her father was a drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like Winter's father was like this rich ass lawyer or a rich ass like judge or doctor or something like that. She got to still live in the same neighborhoods, rock the same fashions, but the lifestyle brought a different energy. You feel what I'm saying? Like I I was I was rich too off of like illegal shit. So I'd be like high and mighty, la 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 la, right? But you can't tell now by my surroundings, right? But you know, I got a cousin that is got rich in her own right, but it's from legal means. So it has a different energy, a different stability that comes with it. You see what I'm saying? Because that fast money go quick. You know what I'm saying? And that lifestyle is short lived when it's not by righteous means. Okay. And that's just something that your girl had to learn the hard way. And this is the journey that we're going through with Winter Santiago and her family. Her father did get to provide that lifestyle for his girls and his wife, but at what consequence? And I think that is something that has been promoted so deeply and so long in our community, which why Souljah, I think why she was writing this, um, that our generation and the generation that's after us currently are so numb to it that we think that's it. That's all you got. That's all. Not really. We see other people who got balling or got rich off of like business and making investments and shit like that. But what we glorify, on the mainstream Black folk shit is selling drugs, pimping hoes, and doing shit like that. That's the shit that is promoted. That's the focus. You know what I'm saying? So let's get back in this book right quick. Because I feel like rambling and I'm kind of tired. So, but the chapter isn't long, thank goodness. And this book is a super easy read. So I'm not mad at it at all. So, chapter 13. So, but the Black women, we, us Black women, we're needed. And I meant to say, what I wanted to say was, we haven't, for the majority, been put in a position where we could just really sit in our divine femininity and be catered and, kept. That's not something that is um, often seen, under, legal means. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, like, if you see shit like that generally in the hood around the way, her dude is some sort of drug dealer. He's some kind of hustler. He's some kind of something. And I think that's kind of sad. And a lot of times, especially back in the day, women like my mom or Winter's mom. Well, my mom has been a housewife my whole life, but from legal means. But what I'm saying is they don't learn any life skills, which generally leaves them fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So if they nigga go to jail, they're so ready to be buying clothes and being in the hair salon and shit like that. They're not picking up any life skills. You know, they end up living off of some type of government assistant. You know what I'm saying? They can't get up and they have no education. They have no job skills, no marketable skills, don't know how to really speak or conduct themselves in a business setting. So all they know is these hood tastical ways that really doesn't get them anywhere. And they end up losing themselves, being on drugs and shit like that. And they're getting older and their beauty's fading. And it because they're undereducated and underskilled, they don't have no ways out. And that I think that's what she's referring to. Maybe I'm thinking about it a little too deep, but like look at Winter's mom. Like Santiago went to prison. Her mom has never had a job since she was 14 years old. All her mama knew how to do was dress and rest. Okay. That's all she knew how to do. She didn't know how to make no money. She didn't know how to do shit. And when her nigga got locked up, she went crazy. The police took all the money. They took all the dope. Her daughters wasn't in nobody's school. Truancy after truancy. So it was a bad look all the way around. And apparently Santiago didn't know what to do or how to well, yeah, I think he got arrested for laundering too. But his mom was a stupid ass chick. Her mom's was a stupid ass chick. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I know this is like a good story and all, the whole nine, but if I was being Trill and I was a stupid ass chick too, I might tell y'all one day how. But in the name of love, she was a stupid ass chick. Like we all were stupid ass bitches making stupid ass decisions with these niggas believing they shit. And what ended up happening, mad typical. Nigga went to prison, no money, police seized everything. She's over there being loyal, going to see her nigga because she think her nigga the man. And then she get to prison, and what you find out upon visitation that there's other bitches trying to see your. Like I've been through that shit for real. Not for play, not for pretend, not because I think it sounds cute right now. That shit is no fun when you're mad loyal to a nigga. He end up gotta do time. You put money on the books, paying for all the calls, handling all the business. But in this book, she wasn't handling shit. She didn't know how to. Santiago did literally everything, right? It's no fun. And then like for me in my case, because it's like the 2000s, I could see on the thing, or if I come in the visitation was taken in the system, I know another bitch came there and took my motherfucking visitation. You know what I'm saying? And back in the day, they used to write it down on books. And when you went to sign your name in to go see, it's different now in the prison. I hate that I know that, but it's different back in the day when you used to sign your name and you could see what bitch came to see your nigga. And that's not hot. And especially when the bitch is dip looking nice and shit like that. Apparently she knew how to handle her money and this bitch didn't know how to handle money. You feel what I'm saying? But I think she was put in that situation. It's all around sad. They took her house, clothes, cars, husband, kids. Okay. She's sitting there devastated with nothing. Of course her mom was a motherfucking crackhead. Of course. You know what I'm saying? Let's go into chapter 13. And the thing about Winter is that the thing about Winter is she's a child and she really just don't get it. She thinks she grown, but she just don't get it. The same evening she called me into her bedroom. Soldier the winter. Hold on. Make sure you hit that like, you one person in here. And let me eat this ice cream real quick. This is Talenti Gelato. I know this is real talking healthy food, but your girl eating some ice cream today. I had this much left. I was like, let me go and polish it off. But I am going to have a recipe for y'all as this week. I hear this here. Look, I met with people around me talk so loud. I know all their business. And I swear I don't be wanting to know. I know everything that's going on. Because they be talking at the top of their lungs, just telling everybody all that shit. Sometimes it get on my nerves. And sometimes I be like, tune it in. You gonna tell your business at the top of your lungs. Well, guess what? I'm about to pull up and listen since you want me to know. Anyway, the same evening she called me into her bedroom. I had almost been staying here a week. Yet I had never seen it. Now, the bedroom is a place where a girl gets to say who she is. Just by the arrangements and things, you should be able to tell something about the girl that maybe you didn't know. Soldier's bed was round. It had a big circular base and a circular mattress on the top. The sheets, blankets, and pillows were expensive. I took her to be freaky, even though that's not how she seemed. But why else would she have a round bed? She had to go out of her way to get it. It must have been a sizable investment. I'm sure she had to go to a catalog, some custom designer to order proper linen and all that. Plus, she took more pride in her bed than she did in her footwear. On the wall, there was a sketch of Souljah. It was accurate because you could tell right away that it was her. The eyes in the dark pencil sketch stood out because they looked even bigger than hers usually did. They were full of sadness. The artist even caught her earrings, big ones, like most ghetto girls rock. Do you like that picture? She asked. I guess I've been looking at it too long. Why do you look so sad? I asked, as if I cared. Well, I was in Paris when that picture was drawn. It was my 21st birthday. I was happy to be traveling, learning, studying there, but I miss my friends and family. You mean you miss your man? I asked. She laughed a little. Yeah, him too. How old are you now? I pushed the question in. I'm 25. Damn, I thought she looked younger than that. Lined against the floor were three black file cabinets. They were completely out of place. If you're trying to set the mood, get your groove on. Why have a banging bed and set it next to a set of file cabinets? Next to the floor cabinet was another bookcase filled with books and papers. What's with all the books? Well, the books in the living room are mostly the books I read in college. These books here are the books I have to read every day to keep up. Keep up with what? With what's happening in our community, our world, you know? Seems to me if you live in your community, you already know what's happening. You don't need no book to tell you. Hell, I can tell you that. Well, those books help you to understand why what is happening is happening. Usually in life, the same things are happening over and over again, you know? And if it's not a good cycle, you got to understand it in order to make it stop. But anyway, I called you so we could talk about what's happening with your life, what's happening with your education. I was in school, but my family moved a couple of times, and you know that was that. So, what are your plans? Plans? I don't know. Plans for what? What would you like to become? Rich? How do you plan to get rich? I don't know right now, but I'm working on it. I'm asking because I would like to help you do what you want to do. You're a pretty girl, and I could tell you're very smart. You're quick on your feet. You seem very creative. Maybe that's the direction you want to go. Creative? Yeah. I saw how you did Lauren's nails and your own are so beautiful. Clothes are always so well coordinated. Now that's a talent. Your hair looks as good, if not better, than I've seen any hairstylist around here do. That's a talent too. So you just need to decide what you want to do and then get started. Otherwise, time will pass you by. You'll look up and 5 to 10 years later, you'll have nothing. So what do you think? Think about what? When are you going to the hospital to see your mother? Soon, I said, trying to keep it all brief. Well, if you need a ride or anything, we can make time and take you up there. What hospital is she in exactly? Long Island College Hospital. I shot out quickly in Brooklyn. It's easy for me to take the train. It's no problem. All right, she said, exhaling like the conversation wasn't going her way. You know, there's a book that I there's a book that you can take a look at. She sat on her bed, pointing out the book lying on the file cabinet. It was a career guide. If you look through the book, you'll see 1,500 different careers. The good thing about it is the book has a lot of ideas, jobs, and business suggestions that the average person might not even think of. Maybe, excuse me, you'll see something that interests you. Thanks, I said, trying my best to seem like I was into what she was saying. I go to a lot of colleges to speak. I wouldn't mind taking you to see them. College isn't for anybody, but sometimes just taking a trip to one or two of the nice ones will change the way you look at education, yourself, and the world. Can I ask you a question? Why do you have change all over your floor? Soldier looked at the quarters, dimes, nickels, pennies he had thrown all over the floor. I'm just sloppy and a little careless about some things. Well, sloppy was the right word. As I'm sizing everything up, I noticed she had more food in the bedroom than in the refrigerator. Half eaten bags of barbecue chips, a can of onion dip with some of the dip stuck to the outside of the can. She had empty apple juice bottles and half empty Evian waters. On top of that, she had an exercise bike in the room. Putting two and two together, I figured that she eats a family sized bag of barbecue chips with dip, feels guilty, jumps on the bike, and tries to burn it all. And why do you have file cabinets in your bedroom? I asked Savannah. Oh, so maybe you need to be an interior decorator. I'd hire you because I have no sense of all that. Serious though, seriously though, I get letters from a lot of people. I keep files on some of the people I work with. I write a lot. I keep copies of everything I mail out. Now my room might not be in order, but I know every book on my shelf and would know right away if one was missing. I know where every piece of paper in this house is located. It may not seem like it, but there is an organized system to it. I guess it's just a matter of different things being important to different people. I had gotten her on the defense, and now the perfect time to dip out of this boring little meeting. Here, talk to Boone. Oh, it's about to get cracking, y'all. It's about to get cracking. Here, talk to Boone. Lauren was passing me the phone as soon as I got back in our room. Boone, who? You said you wanted to meet somebody. Are you ugly? The deep voice said on the Are you ugly? I shot back. No, I'm just saying no. It don't make no sense for me to drive up there if you ugly. For all I know, Lauren and Sarge could just be setting me up to give them a ride. I ain't playing taxi all night. So just let a nigga know what you look like. What you pushing, I asked. Uh-uh. He said, just let a nigga know if you ugly. I'm weak. An infinity. A infinity. Mm. Well, you come see for yourself, I challenge. All right, but if you ugly, I'm just pulling off. Whatever, nigga. My arms were folded. One into the other. I stood on the stoop standing outside the house with much attitude, waiting for Boom and Sarge to pick us up. Lauren was standing in the middle of the street. Lauren's nigga was called Sarge because he was in the army. He jumped out the passenger seat all excited and grabbed and squeezed Lauren up. The notorious Boom had 1 foot in the car and 1 foot on the ground as he stood up halfway out the car to check me out. He was light skinned with two big dimples in his cheeks and a cleft in his chin, a mad cutie with curly black hair. We smiled at the same time. Aw, shit, he said, throwing his hands in the air. You fine. Come on, get in. We checked we checked an action flick. Don't ask me the title. We was mostly tonguing, filling each other up, and giving each other shotguns with Sarge bag of weed. When we got tired of butter popcorn and the real munchies kicked in, Boom said, "What's it gonna be? McDonald's or Uno's?" Uno's is better, I said. Uno's is pussy, Boom said. So what's up? You gonna give me some pussy or are we going to McDonald's? We all started laughing. A few mixed drinks, some pizza at Uno's, potato skins, and salad. We was all feeling good. I wasn't worried about shit. Boom's basement was damp and dark. The little lamp he had in the small matchbox house matchbox house located in Queens didn't even light up the entire room, but I could see the mattress he had on the floor with no sheets. The room that Lauren and Sarge went into was only a room because it was divided by a blanket hanging on a string, bitch. Before I put my pocketbook down next to me on the side of the mattress, I could hear Lauren and Sarge ripping off their clothes. The sound of Sarge's belt buckle clicking, the zipper noise, and their heavy breathing got me good and ready. Boom flipped off the dim light, and it was pitch black. I like lights on, but there was no time for complaining. When Boom found my titties, when he found them, he started rubbing my nipples between his fingers. At first, my body got excited, but then he rubbed them so long they were burning. So I turned on my right side. I moved his hands off my titties, saying, "Suck them, suck them." He sucked them, but it was like he thought they was popsicles. He sucked them too hard. Oh my God. I pushed his head down further so he could eat my pussy. He looked all over my hairs before he could find it inside me. I heard him trying to spit the pussy hairs he got in his teeth. He don't know what he doing at all. Uh-uh. When he found the inside of me, he was licking all the wrong places. He wasn't sucking my clit, which would have sent me over the top. Come on, baby, just fuck me. I said, "Oh my God, this is horrible. This is a funny scene if they did it right." That's right, he said, all gassed up on himself like he was doing something. A few pumps, maybe 8, and he was laid out all over my body, tired and finished. Nigga, what? I said, nigga, what? Oh, girl, you know what? He said all cocky like he had just busted me down. Was it in? Don't even play yourself, girl. He said all calm. Was that it? I crawled around the mattress looking for the little lamp. Finally, I fumbled, then I found it. I clicked the switch real fast and flipped the lamp over like a flashlight, shining it on his dick. That little fucking worm, that's it. And you got the nerve to call yourself Boom? Oh, baby, you missed it. Shit was this big. He held his finger. It's just cold in here. So, after I busted my nut, my shit just shriveled. By this time, Lauren and Sarge's naked bodies had rolled onto the floor. They laughed so hard that Sarge kicked his foot in the curtain wall, not the curtain wall. The curtain wall fell down. Oh, nigga, I knew there had to be something wrong with your ass. Good hair, dimples, and all that. You just a little dick nigga. Take us home. That bitch said, "Is that it, nigga?" Lauren couldn't stop apologizing, but she couldn't stop laughing either. I decided I would choose all of my days from here on. How I expected her to understand my desires, I don't know. On Sunday, the pressure was on for many reasons. First off, my stash was down to $375. Oh no. It was the smallest amount of money I had in a long time. I was surrounded by a sense of panic. Well, girl, I feel you. I would be too. Hey, girl. All I could think about was loot. Several times I caught myself pacing back and forth with various calculations racing through my head, and my pacing got faster and faster. I grew more and more angry. Every plan I would start to cook up would hit a dead end for a reason or another. With Soldier out of the house for the afternoon and Lauren, who woke up mad late in the shower, I began to walk all over the apartment. I looked at everything on the fifth floor. Believe it or not, there was nothing of value that I could see. Maybe the answer was on the second, third, or fourth floor. I pictured myself going through the pawn shop with an elephant tusk. I erased that thought. I knew Doc might have some jewelry down there in her apartment, or maybe even a strong box or safe. Now the bottom line was I couldn't carry or crack a safe. It wasn't my line of work. But as my forehead broke out in a small sweat. I was willing to consider anything. Second cause of my attention today was the womanhood meeting. I was itching to bounce. The reality that I had no place to go was pissing me off because I'm not the dependent type. But you're a teenager, girl. Somehow I was hoping that I could make it work for me. The difficulty would be seeing Rachida again, who I was determined to avoid completely. Let's go see Doc, I told Lauren. Now you go, I gotta make some calls, she said. Perfect. I went down to strike up a conversation to see what I could see. Doc was on the first floor. I heard her moving around behind the two wide wooden doors. I knocked softly. There was no response, so I knocked a little harder. How you doing, Sasha? She said with a pleasant voice, but looked distracted. I was a little bored. Curiosity led me down here to see you. Oh, really? What are we curious about? About what you do. I'm fascinated with the fact that you're a doctor, I said, speaking her language while gassing her up for my plan. Oh, she is trying. I didn't know you were interested in medicine. Yeah, very. I looked past her figure into her office. Well, come on, let me show you around. Now, all I had to say was I was interested in medicine. He showed me every slide under a microscope, every test tube instrument, and even the tables her patients lie down on. He pointed out charts on the wall, breast self examination, pregnant pregnancy information. She even asked me, "When is the last time you had a checkup?" I don't remember. Well, that doesn't sound good, she said, looking as if she wanted to examine me or something. Well, once you become a young woman like yourself, you need to get regular exams and a pap smear every 6 months. Pap who? Pap smear. It's part of a vaginal examination. Mm-mm. We know where that comes from. We check for sexually transmitted diseases, cervical cancer, everything. Since your mom has cancer, you have to be extra careful. She pulled out a long steel tool. It looks worse than it feels, she said. This is a spectrum. It is used in a gynecological exam. Don't point that thing at me, I joked as if it were a gun. This is a serious matter, Sasha. Are you sexually active? I knew the answer to that question would lead me into a trap. No, not yet, with her lying ass. The doctor raised an eyebrow and twisted her face like, bitch, you be getting that dick. She didn't want to call me a liar, but I could tell she didn't believe me either. She walked away as if she were insulted. Opening a small drawer, she pulled out a gang of condoms. All right, even though you're not sexually active, she said, take these just in case something unexpected pops up. And if I wanted an exam, how much would it cost? Do you have coverage? Not right now. What would it run me? Well, usually it would be $150. But since you're a house guest, I'll be willing to examine you at no charge. You pay the lab fees. I'll think about it. Don't wait too long, she said with a serious face, with the serious concern I had grown to hate. Talking to Doc for a half hour had gotten me more useful information than 8 days with upstairs with the upstairs duo. I had peeped the strong box. I was sure Doc kept her money. I figured even on a bad day, she had at least two patients who paid her $150 in cash, depending upon how her day goes, on what day she goes to the bank, and whether or not she goes every week. There will be a minimum of 1,500 weekly or 3 grand in 2 weeks. Oh my God, she is trifling. uh-uh. I had to be in the lockbox. I will watch her carefully, get to know her. I wouldn't be satisfied until I was able to see what kind of treasures she had on each floor of this castle. After all, she pushed the bins. She paid the bills. So what was I wasting my time with the other two for? Oh, right away I understood why Lauren said she went to the womanhood meetings for the laughs. As a gazillion chicks, hold on, a gazillion chicks with an assortment of bad taste filed into the big room on Sunday night. I bugged at the whole scene. Girls with turbans on like they were straight out of the desert. Girls with ashy feet and ashy elbows. A bunch of fake jewelry, cheap shoes, and bald heads. I couldn't believe these girls couldn't understand that the real problem was they had no style. How you gonna be a female with a head full of unkept nappy hair or a fade like a man? Now they didn't all look the same, but they all looked busted. Some of them were young, like 15. Some of them seemed as old as 35 or 40. I'm thinking if you're 40 years old getting advice from a 25-year-old, you might as well hang it up. Girl, she is. Mm-mm. A wave of young girls came in 10 minutes later. They was regular black girls. What a combination. Everybody stood around eating cheese and crackers, celery sticks, carrot dip, and other types of rabbit food. When Soldier came out her room in the back, they all got quiet, like as if she was Confucius or a Kung Fu or something. When she sat down, they all sat down like dummies. I spotted Rashida's pitiful ass and bounced my eyes in another direction. Determined to get my determined to get my attention, she picked up her chair and moved it to where I was, squeezing herself into a small space. How's it going? She asked, all overexcited. I held my two fingers to my mouth. Shh, I said like I was really interested in the meeting. Soldier started talking. Well, the purpose is for us as women, especially young women, to come together, learn from each other, and prepare for our future. If we plan well, we will be in control of our lives instead of being controlled for the rest of our lives. Hopefully, all of us can improve the way we think and the things we do as a result of how we think. Then Soldier gave out this book list. This is a list of books we will we will be reading for this class. I'd say that's when she lost me. Oh my God. And about half of the girls in here. When we looked at the list of the 10 books to be read over a period of 1 year, we were like, she's crazy. We didn't even have to say it to one another. It was like a silent agreement. Oh, you non-reading bitches. One of the girls couldn't take the silence, so she blurted it out and said, well, it seems to me like the main issue is money. I came here to get with some other women like myself who want to get paid. We can give parties, do bus rides, and all that shit. Once everybody gets here, once everybody gets a little bit of money in their pockets, then all of us can feel a little better. Then Soldier moved to shut her down, even though at least half of us could feel what the female was kicking. Money is important, no doubt, but there is some business that we need to take care of before money comes into the equation. Because, bitch, if you don't know how to handle no money, then what you talking about? Apparently, your mama didn't know how to handle it, Winter. That's tea, sis. Girl. Like what? The girl with the ideas asked. Like, how we going to have a business together when we don't even like each other? On dogs. How we going to trust each other when we don't even know each other? Think about it. when you first came in this room and you looked at the other females in the room, what kind of things were you thinking? I'm willing to bet the majority of the females in here had a bunch of negative thoughts about the other females in this room. Everybody Everybody let go a nervous chuckle, but the big girl with the ideas was not convinced. She said, "Business is not personal. I could go on a bus ride with 50 people. I don't care if I like them or not, if the price is right." Some girls nodded their approval. "Yeah, you could do that, but it wouldn't mean anything. The reason why I opened my place for these meetings is so we could do something meaningful, something dramatically different from what goes on in our community from day to day. Everybody thinks it's all about the Benjamins. But what if every black person in the ghetto received $1,000 cash in the mail tomorrow? What would happen?" Most people got excited at that thought. A bunch of side conversations about what people would do with their thousands jumped off. Exactly. In 1 week, 90% of our people would be broke. The money would be spent on overpriced jewelry, clothes, liquor, food, and crack. Everybody started laughing. True, true, true. Oh, dogs. Oh, that's deep, sis. That's deep, soldier. That's deep. That's real deep. That's deep. Now, if we could work on who we are, what we stand for, she need to stop slamming that dub. What we stand for, getting to know each other and what we believe, then we can make better decisions. For example, she slammed that door again. I bet you I'll be at her door. I promise I will. For example, if everybody in here received $1,000 each and we believed in unity, we could have 50,000 to buy a piece of property or put down a payment on a house. Or we can open up a business and all become shareholders. Oh man, it would be hard work, but at the end of the day, it would mean so much more. People got quiet as they thought about it. She's slick, I thought to myself. I watched as she turned everything around the way she wanted it to be. But Winter is thinking about this mad selfishly. Like she thinks everybody is trying to uh, hustle somebody, and they're not. Soldier is trying to build a foundation amongst her neighbors, so then everybody could be on the same page and move as a unit. But she doesn't get that because she's caught up on some bullshit ass hype that ain't benefiting her not even a little bit. And she's so like my brother put it yesterday, so willing to accept dumb shit and so ready to reject intelligent shit. I know a lot of people like that, unfortunately. That's why I'm moving away. Uh, I thought to myself, okay, she's slick. The girls in the room got sucked into her hustle. Meanwhile, I'm thinking how all the girls in the room was basically broke. Most of them took the train to get here. Meanwhile, Soldier was chilling in this mansion with full access to the bins. I was waiting for her to pass around a basket for everyone to make a donation to her personal treasury. Then she had us go around in a circle, say your name and state what you believe. My name is Tashay. And what do you mean by what do I believe? Do you believe in something, anything? Soldier asked, but the girl's face was blank. Are you, say, a Christian, Muslim, Jewish, 5%er? The girl didn't say anything. Do you believe in God? Sister said, for example. Everybody believes in God, the girl said. The next girl said her name was Kim, and she's a Christian. Do you believe in premarital sex? Soldier quizzed the girl. Well, everybody has sex. Nothing wrong with that, is it? I'm not here to judge. Were you listening to what Were you just listening to what you believe? My name is Phoenix, the next girl said. I'm not trying to impress nobody, and I don't know what I believe. What do you live for? Soldier asked. What do you mean? What makes life for you worth living? The girl looked uncomfortable and she didn't answer. Okay, what is it? Okay, what is so important to you that you will risk your life for it, fight for it, die for it? My daughter. I'll do anything for her. I'm a dancer. Sometimes people have a lot to say about that, but I don't care. I gotta feed my daughter. And that's ill now. Being a dancer or a stripper, rather. Well, if you're a stripper, then you refer to yourself as a dancer. But now it's just so normalized. It's in every fucking video. That's ill, right? um, What kind of dancer are you? In a club? What club? The Silk Den. That's a strip club, another girl blurted out. Phoenix rolled her eyes at her. Yeah, and what? You got something to say? I bring home $300 to $500 a night. How much you make? The girl with the big mouth didn't say nothing. How old is your daughter? One. Do you need $300 a night to feed a 1 year old daughter? Oh, snap, the girl with the big mouth said. Phoenix didn't answer. I'm not trying to play you. I'm just asking that introducing ourselves, we be honest as possible. If you strip because you like to strip, or because you like to have a lot of money in your pocket, or because you have a habit, then say that. I'm not here to tell you what to believe in, but I'm here to say that if you don't know what you believe in, everything else in your life will be confused. Knowing what you believe lays a foundation in your life. Then you can have principles and ideas that follow you, things that you are unwilling to compromise. If you're deciding what you believe every day and every day you believe something else, you have nothing to look forward to but chaos. Wow, that's deep. He said, knowing what you believe in lays a foundation for your life. Then you can have principles and ideas that follow you, things that you are unwilling to compromise. If you're deciding what you believe every day and every day you believe something else, you have nothing to look forward to but chaos. Oh, that's the doggy ear. That was good, Soldier. That was good, sis. I want to look nice, Phoenix said confidently after a short pause. Nothing wrong with that. Is there? It depends on what you're willing to do to look nice. Are you willing to let strangers fill you up at a bar? Are you willing to do a lap dance in a string? Are you willing to suck a dick for a new dress? I don't do all of that. A lot of women do. Then they think the new dress is going to make them feel better. It won't. A new dress might make you look better, but that's it. One by one, she knocked them down like bowling pins. She had an answer for everyone about everything. I could tell she had sat and thought up these responses. She said she was doing it to help. Somehow people couldn't figure out whether she was helping or getting off on herself. After a while, it didn't matter. There was one girl There was one girl left before my turn. Suddenly, I felt a need to pee. I tiptoed off down the corridor and stayed locked in the bathroom long enough to stick my head out the window to get some fresh air. By midweek, I had successfully explored the entire house. For a surgeon, the doctor was not hard to figure out. Just throwing, just showing a little interest got her to spill her guts. At night, after hours, she was easy to talk to. At the time when any other woman would be chilling with her man, she would be on any of the 4 floors that were exclusively hers, all the finest stuff in the world. But no mate. It wasn't long before I put it all together. 4 years in college, 4 years in another college, 2 years working around the clock in a hospital with no pay, then back to college and a certification for this and that. She was a medical doctor, a gynecologist, and a surgeon. By the time she looked up 12 to 15 years later, everybody was all paired off. All she got was a bunch of degrees. She could fix people's bodies and brains, but she couldn't repair her personal life. I wasn't going to make that mistake. Ah, ha, ha. Oh, I feel like I want to read this chapter, but it's 9:30. If it's short, I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it. Hold on, y'all. Oh, don't be long, because this is the Heart. Oh, it's so long. I might have to slide through here tomorrow. Damn, this chapter is long. Some chapters are super tedious. Some chapters are short. Let's see. Let me find it. Let me see where it is. Thanks for pulling up, two of y'all. Oh, where's chapter 15 start though? We get that page? 17. Oh, hell no. Sorry, y'all. I can't get it. What the fuck? Hold on, y'all. If it's short, then I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it. I'm breathing all hard and shit. All right, it's kind of long, but I want to. I just want to. Let's see. If it ain't long, then I'm gonna do it. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it, even though I want to. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna read it so we can get on that. Okay, Lauren busted down the bedroom door, holding party laminates in her hand. This is it, she said, throwing herself on the bed. GS's birthday party is tomorrow. Everybody bad ass in the entertainment industry is gonna be in the jam. What's wrong with you, Sasha? Maybe you didn't hear me. GS's birthday jam is tomorrow at the Palladium. LX is giving him the party. That's like chocolate ice cream with chocolate syrup and nuts all over the place. My face was twisted because all I had left was $350. That sounds like me. Sounds like me. I would have to buy something special, but there was no doubt that I was going. Life is a crap game, or as Santiago would put it, life's a poker game. So the next day, I laid my $300 on the counter at Saks Fifth Avenue. I walked out with a designer shopping bag with one Calvin Klein slip dress inside. I already had the banging shoes and matching shoulder bag. My nerves were on edge. She's stupid. I kept telling myself, this is an investment. This is an investment. In less than 20 going to bankroll all my fantasies one way or another. Just to keep it real, I had my eyes set on the big catch, GS. I knew if I could hook up my problems, oh man, my problems would be over. Life would be all Range Rovers, rugs, chips, cheddar, and pleasure. He was wasting his time with Soldier. She was no trophy. That's why he picked her up at night. He left her before the sun came up. You can't support no bitch like her. I'm the only girl to go to bed with and wake up with. The one you bring the dough home to and leave it on the counter so I can take care of the house. I'm a girl who gets other niggas to envy you, want to be like you, want to kill you. Maybe he don't want her. Um, me, it's all about me. A real nigga and real niggas know that. Real niggas love drama. Otherwise, life ain't no thrill. If there ain't no drama, what's the point? A live nigga needs a bitch who's so bad that the other bitches know they need to see her just to lay the fuck down. Now the other chick might might have got some dick from the nigga at some time or the other, but in the presence of wifey, She knew all she could do was shut the fuck up and be mad. Ooh, this bitch is the most. With only enough money in my bag to buy one last dinner, I stepped into the bins with Soldier, Lauren, and Doc. I couldn't understand why Doc was coming to the party. Her time had already come and passed, but I wasn't sweating the small stuff, especially because Doc was the driver and she was pushing my kind of whip. Girl, Doc is the one who's up to par, sis. The thick of things is putting it mildly. When we rolled up, there were scores of people outside the club, everybody dressed to kill. The November breeze was chilling thighs and giving gobs of goose pimples to girls with no nylons. With cars parked in all directions, traffic was jammed. Luxury vehicles everywhere, and only music was pumping louder and faster than my heart. Doc swung into the $30 parking garage that others were avoiding, based, I guess, on the price alone. It was not even a second thought to her. Those platinum and gold credit cards erased her worry over that. But she don't got no idea what the fuck credit cards mean. Anyway, we walked up Soldier Signal security, and they parted the crowd in seconds. As we walked up the slim aisle to the special entrance, all eyes were on us. That's Sister Soldier. Who's that? That's Sister Soldier. I felt like a movie star as our tight little foursome entered the building with no problem, leaving the little wannabes hanging on the outside only to imagine what was going on inside. Inside, players were seated in booths, sipping Moet, Cristal, and Alizé. Some were talking to each other. Some were kicking it with females. One big, buff bouncer type, type invited himself to our table. You ladies want drinks? The bar's open till 10 p.m. After that, it's going to cost you. Why is everybody outside? Let them in. Let's get this party started, Lauren said. The bar is free until 10. We'll let them in after 10. Get it? He smiled at Lauren like he was interested in her. We all went and got drinks and left Soldier in the booth. By 10:30, the party was shoulder to shoulder. The music was loud. More than that, the music was crisp. It was the difference between a car radio and house radio, a stereo system and a club. The club system took it up 10 notches. It was like the music had hands that ripped off your clothes and made you naked and crazy on the dance floor. With only the liquor to slow me down, my whole body was hypersensitive and completely sexual. When someone accidentally rubbed up against me, the sensation was magnified. Wet lips looked even more enticing, and the more the scene sucked me up in the more I liked it. Me and Lauren stuck together. We were looking for the celebrities. We weren't sure where they were, but we knew they were here. Okay? Soldier and Doc disappeared. Lauren said, Lauren said to me at 11. So I said, let's go have some fun. You don't get it, Lauren said, as she tried to shout over the music. Um, she said, you don't get it, trying to shout over the music. I turned my head so she could speak directly into my ear. If Soldier's gone, we can't find any celebrities. That means all of them are somewhere in a separate section, the VIP room. Well, come on, let's go to the VIP room. The place was huge. We had to move slowly through the growing crowd, to each side and corner of the club to find out where the celebrity section was. When we finally found it, Lauren whipped out her VIP laminates and flashed them at the security guards that had the secret entrance sealed off. Facing us was the same big security guard from earlier. He stopped us. Wait a minute, Shorty, you can't do nothing with those, Lauren said, flashing a smile. VIP, she said. Check this out. You got the wrong color laminates. They was orange, but they switched them to blue. He flashed the blue laminate. Now to get in, you need the blue laminate. Lauren leaned on him, brushed his chest with her titties, and asked, how can I need a blue laminate when you have one? He flirted with her and laughed and all that, but still didn't let her in. Oh, She was talking so much. She must have been telling her life story. After a while, wasn't even listening no more. He was getting off on joking with her. Didn't believe her, didn't care that she was Sister Soldier's sister, and definitely didn't believe she knew GS personally like she said she did. Seconds later, the celeb door opened and four guys came out. My eyes were searching their faces to see if they were anybody. If they was leaving, at least they could give up their laminates and let us use them. As one particular face drew closer, my mouth dropped open, recognizing him. Shook me up a little bit. Winter, he said with mad passion. Bullet, bullet, I said, was more like a question. He grabbed my two hands, pushed me back a step, and said, Damn, you look like $1 million. Ain't nothing changed, nigga, I said, noticing how sexy he still was, but giving him much attitude with his mouth open, playing with his toothpick and all that, being all gangsterlicious and shit. Damn, he said, that door gotta stop slamming. Then he said he pulled me closer to him and picked me up with his strong arms like I didn't weigh nothing. Put me down. I ain't forget, nigga. Forget what? I ain't forget either. I've been looking all over for you forever. Man, I asked Natalie, your girl, Simone, Natasha Reese. I even asked your mom where you was at. I ain't forget about the videotape. I heard how you let niggas disrespect me down at Mo's place. That shit was nothing. That was Slick ill and not me. You know that kid is sick. I'm reading all retarded. I'm sorry. I don't get down like that. I see you still got your shine, he said, looking at my diamond tennis necklace and balling ass jewelry. Watching him surveying my whole body with his eyes, my body temperature intensified. What I dug about Bullet is that he was a real lover. He knows how to rock a woman's entire body. He's a guaranteed orgasm. Come on, why don't you take a ride with me? He asked. My eyes peeped his black baggy slacks, leather jacket, and heavyweight gold link. I wanted to say yes, but I kept thinking about what Midnight said about Bullet being down with Santiago's enemies. What I wanted was battling my loyalty to Santiago, but I know loyalty comes first, so I resisted. I still asked the important shit. What you pushing? Bitch, not his car. What you pushing? Then the nigga started fidgeting, mumbling something, which amounted to the fact that he was a passenger in another nigga's car. That made it easy for me to tell him no. No, that's right though. Not that was important, but it is important. Come on, Winter, you sleeping on this nigga, he said, patting his chest with his heavy hands. A nigga been stacking chips. I'm about to cop something lovely. I got a little business on the side making moves. I'm about to come into something real big soon. I turned him down, not with words, but with my eyes. The bottom line right now, the bottom line was right now I had a chance to getting with GS. Why would I fold my hand to pick up some unknown cards? He sensed my rejection and didn't want his boys to see me turning him down, but he was going to go for it anyway. Winter, straight up, this nigga got love for you. Knowing how to be cool and not play him out, I leaned over and gave him a kiss on the cheek and whispered in his ear, maybe some other time, not tonight. He smiled with 100% confidence. Uh, it was uh, it was this kind of certainty that made me want to let me get those digits. He pulled out a pencil from behind his ears and flipped open a book of matches. No phone. I don't have no phone. Come on, Winter. Don't try to play me. I don't. I haven't been wanting no calls. That's why I just been staying to myself. Where you staying at? You asking too many questions. Well, how's a nigga supposed to get how's a nigga gonna get up with you then? You give me your number. Fuck that. Come here. He signaled over to one of his mans and one of the three that's rolling. Give me your pager. He said, What? You heard me. You heard what I said. Give me your pager. He snatched the pager from his man's hand. His man protested. I just got it today. Here, take this. He handed me the pager. You're gonna see how serious the niggas is. I'm reading Maslow. You're gonna see how serious the nigga is. Learn how to respect the man when he talks. I'll page you when I finish setting up. Seeing is believing. You'll see. My code is 000. He hugged me again. You gonna be mine. What's the phone number for the pager? You don't need it. I'm the only one calling that number. It was hard passing up good dick. It was easy to pass up a broke passenger nigga. Tonight my aim was much bigger. As Bullet walked away, I tapped his arm and asked for his laminate. He laughed and said, Nah, why would I feed you to the sharks? I don't know how y'all feel about Bullet. I mean, I feel like he's familiar and he's totally my style, okay? But it's something suspicious about him. It's something, mm, it's something that ain't all the way clicking, and I can't figure it out. Lauren had it all worked out, or so she said. By this time, she knew Frankie, the security guard, personally. Frankie couldn't let her in, but he let us know that DS was having a private party out in his house in Alpine, New Jersey at 2 a.m. All we had to do is meet Frankie around the back of the club. The four black trucks in the back will be bringing the party to Jersey, and all the finest honeys get a free ride with security. Four trucks, 60 chicks, and a caravan of niggas rolling behind them in Benzes, Lexus, Rovers, Rangers, Acuras, you name it. 20 girls left standing on the curb. The security said they were either too fat or too ugly. What do you want to know about What do you know about five chicks sitting in the seat and four chicks sitting in their laps in a row of a suburban? I don't know nothing because I was rolling with the nigga in the beamer and it was just two bitches. Now I was sitting on some girl because I definitely wasn't gonna let her sit on me. I wasn't gonna say a word because I already decided it was better to just watch. Besides, I wanted to check out the competition. The first thing I realized was me and Lauren were younger than most of the girls. A whole bunch of them was in college. I heard them talking about a football game, Grambling U versus somebody. Some of them was talking like they came from far away. They mentioned that they was up for the weekend or drove all the way up from Washington, Baltimore, or Virginia. Four other girls in the back sitting on laps in position right near my ear were wilding. Every song that came on was, oh, that's my jam. Then they would make a high tone screeching voice. Ski wee, ski wee. Oh, they were sorority bitches. Um, every time. It bugged me out when they started bouncing to the beat while sitting on the girls, who I'm sure had to have black and blue knees and legs by then. We invaded this private first class neighborhood like an infection. GS's mansion was accentuated by an array of colored lights, which lit it up like a Walt Disney place. The driveway was more like a parking lot at the Cineplex Theater. Manicured bushes and evergreen trees came to the place excuse me, gave the place an air of seclusion. Inside, there were more rooms than you care to count. Three floors with steps leading to the west wing and north and south of the house. Cristal, Moet, fine wines, cheeses, buffalo wings, pineapple, turkey meatballs, shrimps, and crab cakes were plentiful finger foods available to all special guests. It wasn't but a half an hour before everybody started asking, where GS, where's LX, where's this celebrity or that celebrity? After a while, I started getting vexed with security because I wasn't sure if they wanted to keep all the women for themselves. At 3 a.m., one of the security guys stood up on top of the couch and shouted, okay, ladies, GS is ready for some pussy. Who wants to give up the pussy? We all jumped. If you're not here to get your freak on, bounce now. Any virgins in the house, bounce now. Now y'all know it's too many of y'all. GS told me to bring up the baddest female in the house. All the girls were screaming, raising hands, trying to get the security's attention. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a contest. Line up, get up, line up. If you're too drunk to stand up and sit down, you're out. You're not in it. We're gonna have a beauty contest. Yes, this is the part. A pager girl. Um, in the huge living room, there were 10 rows of 6 girls each in the contest. I'm the host. One of the other security guards said he was supposed to be big and intimidating. As far as I was concerned, he was just big and fat. He walked through each row of girls with his tall, fat, sloppy self, carrying a vodka tonic in his right hand. Ugh, his big fat anyway. Then he started pointing, "You ugly, sit down. You ugly, sit down. You ugly, sit down. Oh my God, you fat, out of here." The 3 girls was mad, mumbling all kind of insults to him. One of them said it loud enough for everybody to hear. "You big fat bitch." The second girl said, "I thought you left all the ugly girls at the club." Fat ass sipped his drinks and said, "It was dark. I missed you 3. Now sit down and shut up." Oh my God. All right, now hold out your hands. Each row of girls stuck their hands out. Man's hands, sit down. Goddamn, what your mother do? Burn you with cigarettes? Sit the fuck down. Who, bitch? I would have been on deck. What are you saying? I'm always on deck. Oh, wait. Oh, he would have said it to me. What your mama do? Burn you with cigarettes? I would have had to show him this hand. Do I got a cut on this one? Okay. He said, "Damn, what your mama do? Burn you with cigarettes? Sit the fuck down." Next to the other security guard stood up. He walked up and down the aisle like he was a military drill sergeant. For seconds, he didn't say nothing. Then he started pointing. "Cheap shoes, sit down. Cheap shoes, sit down. Cheap shoes, sit down." I looked behind me and all the girls he told to sit down. Oh, Cheap shoes, sit down. I looked behind me, and one of the girls he told to sit down was Lauren. She caught my eye. I just raised my eyebrows at her to say, "I'm sorry. I knew them cheap shoes would be her downfall." Bitch. Next thing I know, the same dude was asking us to take off our shoes. A lot of girls didn't like that, and they were complaining and sucking their teeth. I wasn't affected. I had pretty feet. I even did my pedicure over, especially for tonight. Dude started pointing out girls. "Hammer time, sit down. Hammer time, sit down. Hammer time, sit down." God damn, sit. It was only like 40 girls left. I would have been on deck, baby. Okay. Who? Good toes, sit down. But I would have been left at the club because I'm too swole. But they would have caught me back in '08, bitch. It would have been me and Winter, bitch. Well, me and Winter. Believe that. All right, ladies, this one is big. Everyone with me, sit your bald asses down. Would this count as weave braids? Oh my God. Sit y'all bald asses down. 24, 25 girls were left on that one call. My shit was straight and real. With 15 girls left, I was planning on winning. Then the next 30 got up. The guy got up and said, uh, "Pull up your shirts. I'm checking for them nasty worms." Everybody was confused. We just stood there asking him and each other, what worms? Stretch marks. A lot of you slick bitches got nice figures and ugly stretch marks. You know you got 4 kids. Your ass shouldn't even be here. GS do not want to be your baby's daddy. All the guards started laughing. 5 girls with worms were eliminated. Oh my God. The security guard called over the DJ. Throw on some Biggie Smalls. Let me see you hoes dance. You gotta have rhythm. If you can't dance, you probably can't fuck. Sit down, you off beat. Sit down, you whack. Sit down, your butt fell off. 7 girls left. Everybody's like, all right, okay, all right, I'm all ready. Just pick one. Okay, one of y'all step up. The other 6 sat down. Everybody stepped up. Okay, now we gonna see who got some sense upstairs in the head. If I give you if I give you the wrong answer to the television if you give the wrong answer to the television trivia question, sit down, bitch. It's trivia too. Contestant number 1. Who shot J.J. Evans? Who? J.J. Evans in Good Times. I don't know. Sit down. It was Mad Dog. Contestant number 2. What was Janet Jackson's name on Good Times? I know it was Penny. She answered. You're right. Contestant number 3. What was Alice's the maid in the Brady Bunch boyfriend name? And what job did he do? Oh, I don't know. The security guards was laughing so hard they was bent over. The the one who fell on the floor yelled, "You're out!" It's Sam the Butcher. That could be hilarious if they crafted right. Contestant number 4. What was Fred Sanford's favorite drink? Come on, that one's too hard. It's Ripple. Hers was easy. Sit down, Fred drank Ripple. Ooh, I told y'all I would have been in the house. Told y'all. Okay. Contestant number 5. What was Samantha Stevens' mother's name on Bewitched? Sabrina, no. Endora. How was I supposed to know? I didn't watch that shit. I don't got cable. Sit down. Contestant number 6. That was me. What was the name of the dog on the Jetsons? um the dog on the Flintstones and the dog on the Brady Bunch. Astro, Dino, and Tiger. I said swiftly, oh shit, that's right, that's right. Security laughed. The buffalo was like, yo, that bitch is smart. Contestant number 7 was disqualified because she didn't know who beat Rerun in the dance contest on What's Happening. Damn, bitch, what year was this? I'd be like, nigga, that's before my time. But I saw that episode at least 10 times. It was Danny Disco Dynamite. Bitch, what year is this? I don't know these shows. Winter old is a motherfucker. Now we're down to 2 contestants. Who's it gonna be? Let me see. Then one of them security guards jumped up and said, what size is your bra? The girl said 36D. I said 34D. Pretty close. He said, who has on clean panties? With no holes and no loose strings. Open up your legs. He got down on all fours, looked under her skirt, then he crawled over and looked under my dress. When he saw my nicely trimmed bare hair pussy, he said, that's it. You're the winner. All I could think was, thank God I didn't wear no panties. The competition would have still been on if I was right there. Let it have been 2008, bitch. It would have been me and Winter, bitch. Anyway, thank God I didn't wear no panties. It seemed like we would never make it up to the top of the wide, steep, and curvaceous staircase. Every step got closer. Every step closer, I got to the bedroom on the west wing of the mansion. The more excited I became. I wish I could have had a Polaroid snapshot of the look of GS's face when I walked into the room. As we got closer to the door, the fast security guard who escorted me said, me and you could dip into any one of these rooms right now. If it's me you really want, just give me the word. I wouldn't even respond to him. A few steps before the entrance to GS's bedroom, the fat guy turned around and walked away. I could hear the music in the room pumping real loud. Standing outside of the door, I checked my clothes and touched the hair on my fingers. I turned the knob to let myself in. Surprisingly, the room was dark. The only light was coming from the TV, where the image from the PlayStation Street Fighter game was stuck on pause. I ran my hands along the wall, trying to guide myself to the light switch. Accidentally, I tripped over what I guess was a Timberland boot tossed on the floor. Now, I was glad the lights were off. I didn't want GS to see me in an uncool position. When I stood up, I walked a couple of steps before filling the night table with my fingers. As my hands were extended in front of me to keep from crashing into anything else, I almost toppled over a Cristal bottle. I knew that's what it was from the shape of it as I held it in my hands. It was empty. Oh shit, I knew GS was wasted. Probably crashed out on the bed. It was either that or he's a sexy motherfucker who likes to play games in the dark. I could get with that. With a few more steps, I found myself tangled in his pants that were tossed on the floor. Now I was getting real excited. Bitch. Finally, I found the sound system. Oh, my battery. Oh, hold on. No. Hold on. Okay. Girl, the battery's about to die. Okay. Uh, okay, she found the sound system, but I couldn't read the buttons, so I just started turning and pushing them one by one. There was static, then shit just started going crazy for a minute. I pushed the buttons faster until luckily one shut off. GS, I called out softly, not really knowing why I was whispering now that it was absolutely quiet. I heard him groan a few times and moved into the direction of his voice coming from. Into the direction his voice was coming from. Soon I bumped into the bed. I started undressing. Who that? He asked, sounding disoriented. It's me, Sasha. I came to give you what we both been waiting for. He laughed slow and sexy. Butt naked, I slid my silky legs in, then the rest of my body. Taking total control, I threw my legs over him and then mounted him like I was a jockey at the thoroughbred. Like I was a jockey and he was a thoroughbred. I was determined I was going to revive the $1 million star. I was going to make love to him so he would remember my name and come back sniffing around my door tomorrow. Laying my titties on his chest and my hairs against his now erected thick dick. This girl. He ain't gonna remember shit. His now big, thick, thank God, dick. I began to suck his neck, lick his shoulder blades, and suck his chin. Girl. Only seconds passed before his lips became alive and gave way to my sweet passion. We was tonguing. His strong arms grabbed my hips and lifted me up slightly, positioning me to penetrate. I pulled myself to the side, resisting him so I could suck it first to keep it hard longer. As it went to my mouth and halfway down my throat, I moved my lips slowly back and forth. He let out a groan that let me know I had him in the palm of my hands. Tonight it would be all about him. Once I turned him out, it would be all about me. When I felt the pressure mount in him, I withdrew my tongue and lips. He grabbed my head, wanted me to keep going. Instead, I mounted him, then pushed him inside of me. I put everything I had on him, double jointed hips, and my flexible body moves. He would never call me a lazy lover, as my pussy muscles held him in a lobster grip. I vibrated all over him. I heard him scream in ecstasy like he was my bitch. The sound of his surrender caused me to lose my head, and my orgasm caused my whole body to shake uncontrollably. He responded by busting a nut, a big fucking walnut inside of me. We both collapsed into sleep. I don't know about him, but I went out with a smile. In the morning, I tidied up after our house guest. I was dressed in GS's shirt. Downstairs, I tried to bring together some breakfast for us. I had music playing at a low volume. The sun was filling up the entire house the way it does in classy neighborhoods where architects design houses with the position of the sun, moon, and water in mind. As I walked up the long, wide staircase, I felt a pain in my side. Excuse me, sweetie. Hey, hey, you got to get up and get out of here. I don't know what you're doing it here, but don't respond. I'm afraid of the answer. Everything was a blur. I attempted to focus. My head was pulsating the way it does after a night of wild mixture of drinks. The harmless looking 30 something woman was poking me in the side with a long black antenna on which I'm assuming was a walkie talkie. When I sat up, my eyes confirmed the images that were jetting through my mind. I was in GS's mansion. It was not a dream. The untidy room of last night was now spotless, except for my naked body. Like a zoom lens, my eyes scanned the floor for my clothes, which I recalled dropping on the floor on the side of the bed. I spotted them lately uh, I spotted them laid neatly across a chair. I grabbed my neck with my hands. My diamond necklace and my bracelet were still on, so I could rule out robbery from this bizarre situation. Oh man. As I collected myself, I began dressing. The woman watched me as if I was acting in the scene she was directing. Clutching my bag, I asked her, "Where's GS? He's not due on set until 2 this afternoon. It's 9 a.m. right now, but you still have to go. Think about it, lady. If I'm here..." Stop, Taco. Stop. If I'm here in his room, I must be a welcome guest in GS's home. Oh, really? She said. I'm sure he wouldn't mind if his girl waited downstairs for him. This house is big enough for everybody. Here we go. No, don't get on my nerves, Taco. Listen, sweetie, I'm sure you're GS's girl. However, this is not GS's house. Oh, shit. Now we have it rented for a video shoot until 12 midnight. I got to get every shot finished by then. So I'll have to ask you to leave in the interest of GS's money. Overtime is an ass kicker in this neighborhood. He tossed my clothes at me. I flung the door open, turned left, then right to figure which direction to head in. As I moved down the marble staircase, I suddenly noted how beautiful yet empty the house seemed. I was mad at the sarcastic woman upstairs, but I wasn't worried. I was certain that what I put on GS last night would stick. I wouldn't have to go looking for him, he would find me. When I exited the multi-thousand-dollar crafted doors, it reminded me of my old house in Long Island. Just acres of perfect landscape and trimmed trees. Finding the bus stop would be like looking for a lost contact lens. Once I walked past the evergreens, I saw the black trucks that we all rolled over in. The huge security guys who were um, who were the phantom comedians of last night were now looking very sober and serious about guarding this house. As soon as one of them spotted me, he called out, "Where are you headed, lovely?" Slowly walking toward him, I weighed my options. "I'm trying to get back to the city. You can ride with me. You can ride with me if you can wait until 11. That's when I get off." "Where were you last night?" I asked him. "I don't remember." "Why would you?" He said casually. "We putt-putted in his Datsun. The, oh, the deteriorating jalopy was so slow it added 40 minutes onto what should have been a quick trip. Maybe it was because his speedometer wouldn't break 45 miles per hour. As I crawled out of his car, I asked, So were the black trucks rented just like the house?" "Yep, just for the video shoot, he said, "Listen, I'll see you around." While listen, I'll see you around. He said, looking like he wondered if he had a chance with me. I know you won't see me. Souljah was aggravated when I got upstairs in the house, as she munched on some barbecue chips more out of habit than hunger. Have you seen Lauren? Not since last night, I responded, walking straight back to my bedroom. Hmm. She knew better than to try to get in my business. As I relaxed on the comfortable bed, I thought about everything. My only regret was not getting a photograph, autograph, or a piece of GS personal belongings. Nobody would ever believe me if I if I told them me and him got down together. But I soothed myself with the idea that there was still time. As the minutes slipped away, 60 seconds at a time, I waited patiently for Lauren. Hell, she was there last night. She was a witness. Me and her would have one up on Soldier while she strutted around all proud. Lauren and I would know that she really didn't have it all as tight as she thought she did. After all, she let him after all, she let me slide that ace right out of her hand. Stuffing envelopes and answering the phone. This is ill. Not my line of work. But Lauren didn't come home in 2 days. She didn't even call. Soldier was more worried than anything. Somewhere along the line, I guess she decided to substitute me for her sister because here I was doing all the goddamn work. I wanted Lauren to come back just as much as she did. If It was as if I was left alone in the apartment with a set of gigantic eyes watching me. Soldier had a way of looking at people that I didn't like. She was very slick about using every minute that she's around a person to ask certain questions, which led her to knowing more than she needed to know, or more than a person wanted to give up. I never heard you mention your father. Is he alive? She would ask in an innocent voice, as if she didn't know that it's disrespectful to ask niggas about they daddy. Yeah, he's alive, I answered with a mind your fucking business tone. Each time the phone rang, I was hoping that it was midnight. Above everything else, I always picture him as the man who could rescue me. I wonder what kind of game Soldier was playing, or if she even really knew him at all. If she knew him, if she knew him well, why didn't she have his phone number or address? A lot of people don't have phones, but everybody got an address. While filling in for Lauren, I got to watch Soldier more closely. Every now and then, she would ask me to file some papers away in the file cabinets in her bedroom. She had everything neatly arranged in alphabetical order. I checked under my name just to be sure she wasn't piling up no file on me. I even checked under M for midnight to see if she was holding out information I needed to have it in my hands. No luck, no file on him or me. So, how did you meet my cousin? I asked her. I was learning how to hit her with the questions before she could start hitting me. She stopped writing in her notebook, dropped her pen on the paper, and leaned back in her chair. She looked like she was recalling images in her head. The loud doorbell broke her mood and deadened my question. Without her even asking me to get the door, I slipped down the stairs. Lauren was standing there with a big smile on her face. Why didn't you use your key? I wanted you to come down so you could tell me what's going on up there before I step in the fire and get burnt. Your sister's mad, but she's more worried. If you just act if you just limp in, act like you heard of something, mugged or something will turn out better. We laugh. But get your ass upstairs. I'm tired of doing your work. Ooh, girl, what happened with GS? I want to know everything. I'll tell you when we get to our room. Stay cool. Your sister's right in the living room. 1 second after giggling with me, Lauren was standing in the middle of the living room with tears spilling out her face, looking sorrowful. I only heard the beginning of her story. The voice that came out of her mouth wasn't her usual voice. She was talking like she was 7 years old instead of 17. I was mad at you, soldier. What happened? I was mad at you, soldier. What happened? You disappeared at the club. I tried to use the passes you gave me. They wouldn't let me in the VIP room. I didn't get to cash the check you gave me. So I was broke. I didn't have no money for a ride. So I called Fever, blah, 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 blah. And Lauren had reversed it on her sister. Now Soldier was standing there explaining where she went that night and what happened with the passes. I checked it all out. When Soldier noticed me watching the two of them like a tennis match, she took Lauren into her room and their voices faded behind the closed door. Ugh, that was good, right? Girl, the Dotson, bitch. The Dotson. All that shit was rented. So they pressed about this nigga for nothing. They done rented the mansion, the cars, the security. The security drives a Jalopy. Okay? He's sitting up there picking bitches, talking about you too fat, you too ugly. Meanwhile, he got his big ass out in a fucking Datsun putting in fucking New York City. And there's one thing I know: if you live out on the East Coast, you need a good car. Okay, period. The fucking end. Okay. So yeah, that was good. I was hoping that part was coming up. So she smashed GS. He dipped on her while she was asleep. Ain't that a bitch? Oh my God, I need something to drink. It's 10:17. It's time for me to go to bed. But what did you think, y'all? Mm-mm. That girl Winter's a bad motherfucker. And dang, man, I just wish she could do better. You know what I'm saying? I just kind of wish that, like, okay, say I was being petty, not being petty. Like if I was choosing an immature mindset, I would really wish that Midnight will rescue her. Like it's like you know all this stuff, you know she don't know, like rescue her. You know what I'm saying? Like you could think she's just want to be down. Maybe if you teach her how to be down with Muslim action, she could be a sure win. You know what I'm saying? She's gone off you. She will clearly do whatever you say, and he would be just the nigga to teach her. And I don't think he recognizes that. Or maybe he just don't give a damn. He's just like, bitch, I'm going for mine. You feel me? So I don't know. So we don't got that much chapters left. I mean, we literally got like maybe four. So 2 more weeks we'll be ready to go on to another book. I'm gonna be going to another platform because you know my struggle with YouTube, and I need to be accommodated for my time. It's becoming a little frustrating. So um, I'm gonna figure out something. I might finish the book. I might not. I want to finish the book with you guys, but just keeping it a buck. Uh, I might be going on another hiatus. So until I can figure out what I need to do with myself with this channel. Um, I just really have to figure it out. It's been really hard. So, but anyway, I'm definitely having fun reading these books, and we are still gonna do Never Die Alone and the Willie Lynch book, which is only like 25 pages. So we're definitely gonna do those for sure. But I'm getting sleepy. And I hope I see y'all around. Okay. Maybe we could just wrap this book up and then I could come back full throttle with Never Die Alone. I really have to put time into sketching this out, not just making content, but really sketching out my schedule, my other page, and other platforms. And that's going to require some purchases. So if you don't see me around, don't be surprised. I hope you come back through. If you do, that'll be just to wrap this book up, then I might be gone. Anyway, share if you can, share if you dare. Make sure you check out the playlist, okay? If you missed all the other chapters and you're watching this back, I got a playlist with all the chapters in it. So you could go back. If you're not a reader, then I'm doing it for you. That's another reason why I'm probably gonna go to another platform. Um, So, I leave my cash app in some of the videos. Drop $2 and some. Help your girl out. And yeah, but anyway, share if you care, share if you dare, especially if you're a Care Bear. And I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace, love, and hair grease, and all that jazz. I'm out. Peace. Went to win, got that GS stick and found out he was broke.